Hey fam, welcome back to my channel. If any of you guys are new here, welcome. Make yourself at home, don't be a stranger. Take a look around, check out some of my other videos, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join the family. Today, I'm really excited to share with you all 4 books that have helped me on my mental wellness, personal growth journeys, and I know they have the potential to change your life if you read the books and put the principles into practice. All right, let's go ahead and get started. The first book is Eat, Pray, Love by Elizabeth Gilbert. Eat, Pray, Love inspired me to begin my awareness journey. It also helped me recognize my personal power, and it encouraged me to be comfortable in my journey as well as the process of the journey. This book recounts the story of Elizabeth, who has everything that our society tells us we need to be happy externally. She is married, she has a lovely home, she's a successful businesswoman, she's surrounded by friends, but yet in her heart of hearts, she is alone. She is confused, and she's wondering what in the world to do with her life. One night she has this encounter with God on her bathroom floor, and she is just crying and sobbing, unhappy, wondering what her next step is when she speaks to God directly for the first time. That experience on her bathroom floor led her to an adventure around the world where she was able to immerse herself in 3 different cultures. She learned a new language simply because it made her happy to do so. She spent time meditating, doing yoga, and she even stumbled across love. So I want to read just a bit from the last pages in this book because they're really inspiring. I think about the woman I have become lately, about the life that I am now living, and about how much I always wanted to be this person and live this life, liberated from the farce of pretending to be anyone other than myself. I think of everything I endured before getting here and wonder if it was me. I mean, this happy and balanced me, who is now dozing on the dock of this small Indonesian fishing boat, who pulled the other, younger, more confused and more struggling me forward during all those hard years. The younger me was the acorn, full of potential, but it was the older me, the already existent oak, who was saying the whole time, yes, grow, change, evolve. Come and meet me here, where I already exist in wholeness and maturity. I need you to grow into me. And maybe it was this present and fully actualized me who was hovering 4 years ago over that young, married, sobbing girl on the bathroom floor. And maybe it was this me who whispered lovingly into that desperate girl's ear, "Go back to bed, Liz," knowing already that everything would be okay. That everything would eventually bring us together here, right to this moment, where I was always waiting in peace and contentment, always waiting for her to arrive and join me. The next book is The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. Now, this little book is packed with so much wisdom that's presented in a very beautiful and succinct way. I consider this book to be the holy grail of personal growth books, and it's such an easy read. I think it's like less than 150 pages. So the author presents 4 agreements that are based on Toltec knowledge. And when we make these agreements with ourselves, and when we keep these agreements with ourselves, they have the power to transform our lives into this beautiful, liberated, happy, peace-filled, love-saturated life. All 4 of the agreements are really practical, but 2 of the agreements that I keep ever before my mind are 1, always do your best. Under always do your best, the author brings to light that my best will look differently than it did yesterday, than a year ago, than what it will look like tomorrow, and most certainly, my best will look differently from your best. This agreement has helped me a bit. And I say a bit because some of you guys that are watching and that know me are probably thinking, hold up, didn't you just text me saying that you feel like breaking into dry heaves because you got a grade that was 3 points shy of a perfect grade? Or didn't you just say you felt like crying because the audio in your video didn't sync up with the video and you felt like re-recording the entire thing at midnight? Yes, I am a recovering perfectionist. But remembering this agreement, always do your best, has helped me be more cognizant of my best looking differently than it did yesterday. Doing my best also means that I know when to pause, when to say no, and that I am present and living in the moment. So I want to read just a little bit from that chapter, Always Do Your Best. And it says, God is life. God is life in action. The best way to say, I love you, God, is to live your life doing your best. The best way to say, thank you, God, is by letting go of the past and living in the present moment, right here and now. Whatever life takes away from you, let it go. When you surrender and let go of the past, you allow yourself to be fully alive in the moment. Letting go of the past means you can enjoy the dream that is happening right now. The second agreement that has helped me a tremendous amount, when I remember it, is don't take anything personally. And I'll just read what it says here in the inside cover. Nothing others do is because of you. What others say and do is a projection of their own reality, their own dream. When you are immune to the opinions and actions of others, you won't be the victim of needless suffering. When I remember this agreement, it allows me to listen to others without becoming offended. It also allows me to walk away from arguments and just be chill. I do not have to create a hell for myself by subscribing to the reality of other people or their interpretation of my reality. It's like, oh, you think I'm incompetent? You think I'm a child? Okay, cool. That's your reality for whatever reason, but I know who I am. I know what I'm becoming. I do not have to expend energy arguing with you to try and change you because it's not going to happen. I know my reality and I can be at peace. Also, remembering this agreement, don't take anything personally, allows me to accept a compliment in a non-codependent manner. So in the past, almost all of my self-worth was wrapped up in how other people perceived me and defined me. But now I can accept the compliment with gratitude and keep it pushing, continuing to do my best. The next book is Boundaries by Doctors Cloud and Townsend. As you guys can see, this book has received quite a bit of loving. One of the things that I appreciate about this book is that it's written from a Christian perspective. And I'll speak for myself when I say that growing up in an extremely conservative Christian home did not really afford itself to cultivating a knowledge of boundaries. We pretty much availed ourselves to every emergency that arose. And in those moments where we might have said, no, not now, I need to eat, I need to sleep, that's not my responsibility, or it's time for me to go, the guilt was laid on pretty thick. And it kind of came from this attitude and this perspective of, how dare you say no? You're a Christian, you're a missionary. Christ often went without eating so he could minister to others. And if you are his servant, how are you to be greater than your master? But this book, as I said, is written from a Christian perspective, and it does an excellent job of defining boundaries, why we need them, what a day without boundaries looks like, what a day with boundaries looks like, myths that surround boundaries, how to set boundaries with our friends, our family, our spouses, even with God, how to recognize when people try to manipulate us into relinquishing our boundaries. I'm reading from the chapter entitled Common Boundary Myths. It says, many Christians fear that setting and keeping limits signals rebellion or disobedience. In religious circles, you'll often hear statements such as, your unwillingness to go along with our program shows an unresponsive heart. Because of this myth, countless individuals remain trapped in endless activities of no genuine spiritual and emotional value. The truth is life-changing. A lack of boundaries is often a sign of disobedience. People who have shaky limits are often compliant on the outside, but rebellious and resentful on the inside. They would like to be able to say no, but are afraid. Even with God's help, however, it is crucial to understand that meeting our own needs is basically our job. We can't wait passively for others to take care of us. Jesus told us to ask, seek, knock. This is a very different picture than many of us are used to. Some individuals see their needs as bad, selfish, and at best, a luxury. Others see them as something that God or others should do for them. but the biblical picture is clear. Our lives are our responsibility. You don't have to be a Christian to read this book, although I will warn you that there is a lot of religious jargon in here that you might not be as familiar with if you don't come from a religious background, but don't let that hinder you. This book is very powerful and it's been a tremendous help in my life. The last book is Codependent No More by Melody Beattie. When I first read this book, I was really depressed, but when I finished it, I was filled with a lot of hope and encouragement that 1, I was not alone, 2, I understood why I was depressed for the most part, and 3, I had the personal power to change. My codependency manifested itself in a lot of ways, but mainly my lack of ability to recognize my emotions and my feelings and to interpret them. Because for so long I was taught that my feelings were against me, that I couldn't trust them, and that if any dark feeling came into my mind, I needed to dispel it because it came from a very dark place. And so while I was taught to distrust my feelings, a lot of emphasis was placed on recognizing and respecting and acknowledging the feelings of others and going to others for direction when it came to my life. Essentially, I lost myself in trying to please other people. And then I read this book and I highlighted and underlined nearly every single line. And I was like, that's me. That's my life. Okay, how do I fix this? Okay, I'm not alone. I'm not crazy. Okay, what do I do? So I want to read just a little tiny bit from this book, and it's in the chapter, Yes, You Can. Not listening to our needs and wants and telling ourselves that what we desire is wrong cheats us out of the information we need to make good choices. Second guessing and what ifs don't help either. We're learning to love, trust, and listen to ourselves. Maybe we've been using our minds inappropriately to worry and obsess, and our minds are tired, abused, and filled with anxious thoughts. We're learning to stop these patterns also. Highly, highly recommend this book. Like I said, I nearly underlined every single sentence in this book, and I was like, oh, that's me. That's me. But I am on the road to healing and growth, and I am loving it. I am 100% committed to my growth. All right, fam, that is it for today. I will list every single book that I mentioned down in the description box, so make sure you check it out. I love you guys so much for watching. Remember, you all are the best. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, turn on your notification bell so you don't miss a single episode. Share this video with your friends and your family. I love you guys so much. Peace and love. See you in the next one.